The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
Aloha and welcome to Hilo, Hawaii. Everyone, we are here for the 2024 International Va'a Federation World Sprint International Championships at Hilo Bay. And it may look a little gloomy in the camera, a little bit rainy, but that is typical sunny, beautiful Hawaiian weather for the town of Hilo. And we're excited to be bringing you the live coverage for the next week of this incredible international paddling Ho'olaulea festival from here in the islands, and we have paddlers from all across the globe coming to join us for sprint style racing here in Hilo Bay. And we are just now getting ready to have the opening ceremony, and I'm very lucky to have with me the excited voice of Mr. John Herbert. Thanks for coming to visit us.
It's my pleasure.
From the famous Herbert paddling family from Aotearoa. Thanks for coming and sitting here with us as we get ready for the opening ceremony, which will be taking place in about 10 or 15 minutes here. So we're sitting at our Oceanside studio. Behind us, you can see all the ama of the va'a there, or vaka, depending on where you're from.
Where you're from, absolutely.
Lined up here at the Black Sand Beach in Hilo. All of our paddlers representing their different countries are on Banyan Drive, getting ready to walk down the bayfront here in Hilo, have our opening ceremony, representing their country. And I've been walking around here today. John, there's a lot of excitement in the air.
Oh, absolutely. As the course has been developed, as the paddlers have got out in the water there, the excitement's been building. You know, we're one day away from competition.
Yes, so we start off our competition tomorrow. It is currently just prior to 4 p.m. or 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Thursday here in Hawaii. And, you know, on the behalf of all Hawaii paddlers and the local people here in Hawaii, we are so honored and privileged to be able to host an event like this that not only represents our paddlers and our culture, but for me, it really ties together not only the nations of Polynesia, from whence this sport was born, but all the other places around the globe who fell in love with our outrigger paddling traditions.
Absolutely. Germany. Who would have thought Germany would be here? You know, the new countries that are coming in and are improving and are showing great skill and taking to the sport and actually getting better and taking it seriously and starting to come through the ranks. It's marvelous to see.
You know, a lot of these countries where, you know, maybe they didn't historically have outrigger canoe, but they are ocean people. They're fishermen. You know, they're sailors. They love being outdoors and being in the ocean. They've somehow been exposed to outrigger paddling and really started adopting it. I mean, look at this. Places like Peru, Singapore, Wallace and Futuna, Italy, France, Germany, all over Europe. And in fact, it was kind of neat that 2 years ago, the World Sprints, 4 years ago, were held in England.
2 years ago, you're right. The first time,
right?
Held in England in Windsor on Dorney Lake. So I find it quite ironic, but and it was fantastic. In fact, it was so hot over there. It was amazing in the sense that, you know, I left from Perth, Australia, went to London to warm up. Who would have thought, eh? Who would have thought?
Right. At that time of year to go to the northern hemisphere and warm up. Yeah, so you can see on your screen, whoever's tuning in on our, whether it be your Ocean Paddler Facebook page, the HCRA Facebook page, of course, the International VA Federation Facebook page, or even on YouTube with Ocean Paddler. You can see all of the nations that are represented here. Much like in surfing, we Hawaii and United States, we kind of, even though we are historically our own nation, maybe not currently according to many, but we operate under our own country, and it's so cool. Singapore, Canada.
The next Worlds in 2 years' time will be held in Singapore.
Ooh, that'll be cool. That place is a beautiful mix of city and country over there. So it's going to be beautiful. So all of these countries represented. I think it's amazing, but I do see. I'm so happy to see so many of our Polynesian nations still carrying forward. I mean, of course, Tahiti, the big dogs, right? Aotearoa, New Zealand is here. The Cook Islands, American Samoa. So I think it's neat. Tonga. It's great to have. We still keep our basis, and it's so good for me. I feel to see Polynesians doing Polynesian things in their Polynesian home.
And it's amazing. Absolutely. And it's positive. It's absolutely positive for everything. It's fantastic to see Tahiti here because they weren't in England. So they didn't attend in England, but here they are now. And so I'm excited.
I'm excited to see this. Man, anytime you talk Tahitians and paddling in the same sentence, they ratchet it up. You know what I mean?
Exactly. In Aotearoa, New Zealand, where I come from, we sort of look at paddling in Tahiti like the All Blacks or rugby is in New Zealand.
Oh, yes. It is. And I tell you, I've been in New Zealand, brother, and when the All Blacks are playing, it's like everybody's in church. There's nobody on the street. All Blacks rugby is like religion in New Zealand, as it should be.
Surely is.
It should be. And yes, in Tahiti, man, paddling. Yep. And, all these top teams like EDT, Shova, they are like the All Blacks.
Of paddling.
Paddling is the thing in Tahiti, for sure.
Exactly.
And it's awesome.
We sort of say that, in New Zealand you're born with a rugby ball in your hand. Well, in Tahiti and Hawaii, you're born with a paddle in your hand.
You're born in the surf. You're born in the water. The water is a little colder in Aotearoa.
Just a tad.
On the South Island only, right? So John, tell us a little bit about yourself. What you're going to be doing here this week while we're here, and you are from the world famous Herbert family of paddlers from down there in New Zealand.
Well, indeed, I am from New Zealand. I'm a Kiwi that's living in Perth, Western Australia at the moment.
Okay.
So, but certainly, I've been involved in waka since it first started in Aotearoa. And so the club that I belonged to at that time was Ngā Hoihoro, which all the Herberts belonged to. And we were instrumental in the beginnings of the federation in Aotearoa. So the first three.
As we can see on your screen while we're talking to John here, all the different paddlers representing their nations. They have jerseys. There's the one from
I see the Australians, the Kiwis, but they're from Australia representing proudly.
They're proud there to be representing. And so, John, many people will recognize you as the voice of sprint race paddling, especially through the IVF.
Absolutely. I was in London 2 years ago. I've been in Australia doing that. I've been in New Zealand. I've been around the world doing race commentary. I guess mainly sprint race commentary, and it's something I love doing.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously, paddling is in my blood. So when I do the commentary, I'm not paddling, but I still do paddle.
Yeah, awesome. Up there in Perth, still paddling up there?
Still paddling in Perth.
It's neat to see. Look at this contingent from Australia.
I
man.
know.
They are here. That's all your gang, huh?
That's the gang.
All right.
So, absolutely. And obviously, there's more paddlers on the East Coast. I come from Western Australia, a little bit smaller zone, but it's still very, very keen and very, very passionate paddlers.
Oh, yeah. Look at them. They are all here to represent back home, and it's kind of neat. Brazil has a big, and man, you talk about ocean people that have taken to outrigger paddling. Brazil,
absolutely. And in London, the improvement that I saw, just personally, that I saw in the crews that were in London, outstanding.
Brazil.
Kia ora, Brazil.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, absolutely. The skill set, what they did in London, you could see the improvement, and I expect more.
You know, I want to say 30 years ago, 20 years ago, you weren't really seeing Brazilians on the world surfing stage.
Yep.
And now we have several of our last world champions are Brazilians. They are water people. They are athletic. They're here.
Canada.
All right. Very cool. Red jerseys.
Hello, Canada.
New Caledonia?
That's Canada.
That's Canada
red
as well.
jerseys,
Okay.
yep.
Canada. All right. They're getting ready to get
Again,
out there and represent their country.
it is a paddling nation. You see them represented in the different paddling disciplines as well. But again, they represented well in London. I do remember them, and they were there or thereabouts all the time. You know?
Yeah, for sure. They even, places like Singapore and in Southeast Asia, they have the dragon boats over there.
Absolutely.
And man, they take to outrigger paddling and go back and forth.
Aotearoa, New Zealand.
Of course.
Kia ora whānau.
Yeah, kia ora.
And so 600 paddlers
From
Aotearoa, New Zealand.
Wow.
That's the crew that they brought across. And so add to that the management, and also add to that supporters and family
right.
and aunties and uncles, and you can swell that number again.
Hey, it's a little cool. Hey, there's Hawaii. It's a little cool down in New Zealand right now.
It
right?
is.
It's their winter time.
And wet.
Yeah, and it's nice to be able to come up here.
UK.
And, Germans.
And Germans there. I see Chile. They go back to
Cook
Chile.
Islands.
Yep.
All right. Awesome. Germany there. Our producer, he's originally from Germany.
That's why.
He makes sure they get a shout out, right?
Yep. But,
right.
the
Guamini.
multiple
All right.
nations.
That's Guam right there.
Awesome. Fantastic to see. Even though a small group, they're here. They're just as passionate as anyone else.
I love all the jerseys representing their countries and how good and unified each look, and how proud they look to be able to representing their people and their country and their club.
And I do know many of these faces, and many of them have been around in Va'a Wakaama for years and years, and it's intergenerational in families that come across.
Well,
and
just like your family, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how many generations of your family are currently paddling? Three, four? Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
That is so cool.
And so, some of those faces have been in the foundations of Wakaama in New Zealand there. So it's great to see. Great to see.
Everybody's getting lined up there, ready to travel down the bayfront here. Again, you can catch us live all week long here on our Ocean Paddler Facebook page,
Mainland
or
USA.
It's going to be, all right, USA. See the Stars and Stripes, baby. There it is. You can also catch us on the Hawaiian Canoe Racing Association, HCRA Facebook page, the IVF Facebook page, of course, or on YouTube with Ocean Paddler as well. So we'll be here all week doing live, bringing in guys like John. But John is like the hype guy during the race. He's like the Joe Rogan. You watch you watch UFC and there's Joe Rogan. Yeah, paddling IVF has John. John's the hype guy out here.
But you see there also the comradeship, the friendship, the mateship, the relationships you make, lifetime friends are from around the world. And, we are tigers on the water. Don't get us wrong. We want to win.
Yes.
But off the water, it's...
who's this here?
This...
Is that some American? Someone? Oh, no, that's... Oh, Wallace and Futuna. Awesome. That is so cool. So, we had a little stat with who had the most entries. And, of course, it was Hawaii. It was the easiest to get here. They had 336 crews, according to the
crews.
That's entries. Yeah. I believe some of that is going to be V1.
Yeah.
Right. So a total of 336 entries. That's great. And of course, it's from wherever you are in the state. It's a lot easier to get here than it is from New Zealand.
Yeah.
But New Zealand had 297, nearly 300 entries. Man, you talk about paddling blowing up in the last several years in New Zealand.
It has grown since it commenced. I mean, it started off small. Everyone starts somewhere.
Yes.
It started with 3 clubs. Clubs.
Look out there, John. Everybody seems to be on the move, getting ready for the old march down the bayfront.
So they're heading towards, I think, the medal presentation area where they'll have the opening ceremony, the formalities. But walking up the beach, and don't forget also here are para-paddlers as well.
That's right.
And so the para-paddlers are also heading up towards there as well. And so we're looking forward to all racing. And so it's very inclusive. That's the other thing I was going to say about Va'a and Wakama. It's very inclusive with the para-paddlers. And this year, it'll be the first year in the history of paddling that they'll even have exhibition races for people that live with an intellectual disability. So the first time ever.
Wow, that is very exciting. Thank you for sharing that with us. But you're right, that is the great part about paddling. It's so inclusive, whether you're a young kid, you're an older adult. They do mixed crews. It's for men. It's for women. You can compete even though you're not an elite paddler. There's some place for you to compete. Get out there and do your best and share time on the water with others. It's fantastic.
I say that all the time. You're never too big. You're never too small, too short, too long, whatever. Anyone can get out there and paddle. You can intergenerationally go out and paddle with your mokopuna, and back and forth, and so it's amazing.
It's something you can do your whole life. Oh wow, look at that beautiful headdress they have on, and it's something you can do for a portion of your life, and maybe life pulls you away a little bit. You come back.
Indeed, and that's what you have a break every now and then, but then you never get away too far.
No, you never get away. Oh, they're the Tahitians.
Okay, and it's fantastic to see them here. Absolutely beautiful to see them. And so, at the end of the day, and when it does come to competition, you want to race against the best.
And that's what's here, right? The best from all over the world. Not just the best from your neck of the woods.
Yep, exactly.
Right. Awesome. Australia, almost 200 entries, 198. Canada, actually 211
well
entries.
Done, Canada.
I mean, think about you don't have Canada being synonymous with outrigger paddling, but I guess that's got to change. Wow.
Here they
Look
come.
at that. The seas of people with their jerseys representing their countries. That is cool. They're on the nice black sand beach here in Hilo Bay, walking through the middle of the tents. And what you're seeing here in front of you is basically the grounds where all these folks will be lined up on the beach and paddling. Each tent will be for a different country, right? So that they have someplace to get out of the sun here during the days. And so there's multiple days of racing, multiple different categories, and it's going to basically allow these folks to kind of hang out, someplace to be out of the sun. But not everybody might be here every day throughout the whole
Absolutely not. Night. Yeah, but there's space for everyone. So if you're watching, listening in, whatever happens, come on down. Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Well, I would say if you're in Hilo Town or you're anywhere in Hawaii, grab a flight, get over here because there's a really cool. There's all kind of food booths and crafts and for anything from clothing to jewelry to paddling stuff that right in the back here that you can check out. And just the atmosphere here will be fun.
Yeah, look, I've been here since Sunday, and I've been up Mauna Kea already. And,
oh wow!
And people are showing us around, and we're heading off into town to restaurants to have dinners and stuff, and getting to know the local area. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Hilo is a special town, and for a lot of local people, Hawaiians, this has always been a place where we can come and perpetuate our culture. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Merry Monarch Hula Festival. It happens here just down the road every year. And hula is truly one of the most essential expressions of Hawaiian art and culture.
Absolutely.
It is kind of the high end of what we do. We strive to, keep our culture, tell our stories, be the best in that. And it's so cool to have the IVF come here and do the world sprints where we can, again, share our culture on the world stage. I mean, think about it. In the old times, I know the ali'i or the chiefs and stuff, they would have canoe races, but it was an integral part of the everyday of Polynesians everywhere in the Pacific. Yeah. You're from Aotearoa, you're from Hawaii. You need your va'a to go catch fish and feed your family, to travel to the next village, whatever. It wasn't something that, it was a sport that we did. It was just every day, And to be able to continue that now in this sort of way as a sport that we share with the rest of the world, fantastic.
Fantastic. And, as I listen to you talk about hula and the culture and that, there's so many parallels between Aotearoa and Hawaii.
Of course.
There's so many parallels, and so the same thing for kapahaka. The competitions that we have broadcast on mainstream TV, and they are so competitive and fantastic to be a spectator.
Yep.
And so, I see so many parallels.
I get goosebumps every time I get to see the All Blacks haka at the beginning of every match. I mean, it is. I really applaud the way that the Maori have kept that as part of their culture, that they share and use on the regular, every time they go out there. That is so cool.
Yeah, and the All Blacks now, they do the haka like it was meant to be.
Yes.
With mana, with kaha.
Yeah.
And so, very much so. And so, and it is I guess, an icon that it identifies internationally.
Iconic. Huge. When you think of New Zealand and the Maori people, that's one of the first things that somebody from somewhere else comes to mind, right? Is the haka. And I had been learning recently that, although it looks so fierce and almost like they're calling you out for a fight, when you translate what they're actually saying, they're asking for guidance and wisdom and talking about the generations that have come before them.
Yep.
It just comes across very fierce.
And it does, and it's given with so much emphasis, but it's actually a sign of respect that we're showing to the opposition if it's a team. Having a haka performed in your honour is actually
huge.
Exactly that, an honour.
Yes.
And so, yes, we are challenging. Of course we are, but it's challenging in the right way. If you want to beat us, come on.
Yeah, right.
Come on in.
I hear you. Yep, more of our gang from Australia.
Yes,
wow, there are quite a few. I heard there was in the neighborhood of 3,000 plus just paddlers.
Yeah, I haven't. I've been in my station in the first 3 days of this event, but I haven't seen this many people. I didn't realise.
Where have they all been?
Yeah. Well, honestly, it's quite amazing when you see it in from this perspective, from the drone perspective, and it's great. Great graphics. I love it.
Yeah, the drone offers such an amazing perspective to be able to share an event with people. And, of course, there you see the ocean lapping up on the shoreline there where all the action will be happening right in front. It's going to be a great place not only to be a part of what's happening on the beach, but to spectate the valley, right? And there you go. I think those folks are out there more for fun.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh, Komatsu's getting a free advertisement here. You're welcome. Doing excavator rentals.
Yeah,
but
indeed.
But Hilo is one of the primary and best spots for this type of racing here in Hawaii. Yeah. It's a protected bay. We've got a big break wall out there. This town is, although Hilo kind of, by Hawaii standards, is kind of a small town. It's growing for sure. It's growing as is much of the Big Island and the rest of the state, for definitely. But it's kind of still very much a small town vibe. But it's got an airport, a big airport you can fly into. It's got hotels right here to be able to stay in. So and this deep, beautiful beach with the capacity to have an event like this behind it. You can see kind of in the background there, under the coconut trees, all the different food trucks and vendors all lining the walkway there through the parking lot. But this is a great place for this kind of event.
It is. And the airport flight path is obviously straight over this race course.
Yeah.
So when you fly into Hilo, you are looking down. As it banks left, the aircraft banks left, you see this event straight through your window. And that's what I saw on Sunday when I flew in.
Oh, yeah.
I thought, that's where we are. There's the race course. And I guess it just raised the excitement level once again as I flew in from Oahu.
That'd be cool to fly in actually right now and see all of this going on behind you.
Right?
I flew in earlier this morning, John, and man, you could see all the va'a lined up on the beach and the people starting to come in.
I agree.
But this would be a sight from above, too. Look at this. We're really getting a cool bird's eye view of this.
Yeah. But those va'a that are sitting there, those coloured ones, they are not going to be used for racing.
No.
All the racing ones are behind us that no one can see. But,
So, John, tell us about the canoe that we're going to be using this year for the World Sprints.
Matahina. It's come. It's a Tahitian canoe. It is a rocket in a straight line.
Yes, sir.
It is a rocket in a straight line, but if you want to turn 180 degrees, be prepared to work hard.
Yes. It is a wonderfully design canoe for paddling in a straight line. It is not. It has a little bit of not too much rocker on it. A nice long water line. It's got a nice V in the front, and it likes to track and catch waves and surf and be lively. But it doesn't have that nice fat belly like a lot of these Hawaiian style canoes have, where they can kind of slide.
Yeah.
You know, the Hawaiian canoes, they have of course they're kind of drawn out. They're knifey in the front to be able to track.
Yes.
But in the back, they have that nice kind of almost squared off section.
Yeah.
5-6 and in the back. And what it allows, if you think of it almost like what do they call that when they are burning out with the cars, drifting?
Drifting.
It's like drifting.
And you're not wrong there. You're absolutely right. You know, it's got a lot more rocker, and it turns on a dime.
Oh, it turns on a dime. If you know, and I'm sure you've seen it. As you're coming into the turn, you set up a nice angle, and then whoop, the steersman in the back pokes hard, and the back just slides right around.
It surely does. So they've been practicing and doing water familiarization over the last 3 days, and practicing their turns and the draw strokes from 1 and 2. And you'll see it when we get into the competition phase. I'll ask you to count how many draw strokes they do out to the left to get it around 180 degrees. On the normal Hawaiian canoes, they just
half a dozen,
no draw
maybe.
strokes,
Yeah.
maybe even nothing sometimes. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. So, I know in Australia, Western Australia, we only have one matahina there.
Okay.
And so, we were all using that one matahina to practice turns before he came here. And even watching out there over the past 3 days, people are finding ways to get it around, but it's not easy. It's not easy.
And imagine those races that have maybe up to 5 turns in them.
Yep.
That's a lot of extra work. And I think I've heard there's different strategies that people have based upon the size and weight and strength of your paddlers.
Absolutely,
right?
Yep.
I've heard some people, they almost come to a complete stop, try to pivot it,
Yep.
and then have a whole nother start coming out of the water.
Yeah. But, I've seen, I can't remember which worlds it was, but, where the Tahitians, that acceleration after the turn, it is a big part of the race. Not only that, but, when I've commentated so many sprints that you can be the first to get to the turn, but if you don't make that turn, you can come out last.
Yes.
It's
you can either make money or lose money on the turn.
Make or break. That's what I say.
Make or break, for sure. For sure.
I say that often. So, but the canoes are here. Everyone has the same canoe, same weight, same model. And so that's what makes it the even racing. So it's the best technicians, whatever one you look at it. It's a mixture of fitness, obviously it's a mixture of power, but it's also a mixture of good technique and getting around it.
I'm
teamwork.
So interested to see all the different paddling styles that we're going to get to check out between now and as this whole thing does its course.
Yeah.
How the women will paddle different from the men, how the Tahitians might paddle different from the guys in Australia or whatever it might be. So I kind of really interested to see not only how people tailor it towards what their strengths are, whether it's power or what, and then also what they've figured out in each country seems to work the best for them.
And it's not the same for everyone.
No.
You're absolutely right. Various crews will have different techniques that work for them. And so what I've found over the period that I've been doing the race commentary too is usually the best turn practitioners of any type of waka are junior women. Because they're lighter, but they have a good skill set too. But the waka's a little bit higher out of the water, so it helps with that turning. Again, we've never seen. Well, we'll wait and see what it's like on the matahina.
So I'm excited for the racing to begin tomorrow. And from what I understand, John, and I'm sure you can fill me in on this. You've been doing this, involved with this for a little bit here, is you mentioned that day 1 and day 2, I'm counting tomorrow as the first day of racing. So day 1 and day 2 is going to be our elite paddlers.
Absolutely. So it'll be the best of the best from each country across the elite open division and its age group divisions and also gender divisions. Okay. But it'll be a short day tomorrow, but it'll be fantastic racing. Like I said, the best paddlers from each country. They've been training back home, wherever they've come from. They've been training back home, and they've been putting in and trying to blend their teams together because they're from different clubs.
Yeah, you're not necessarily, right? All paddling together all the time.
So, you've got to blend together. You can have 6 very fast paddlers, but if they don't blend, it doesn't necessarily make a great team.
And then after those first couple of days, look, there's all your...
all my whānau. But I'm not joking, that was my whānau. The Kiwis are coming through.
So after the first couple of days, then we go to, it's going to be club racing. You're entering as in the different divisions as your club.
As your club from each country again. So the first part is the Elite World Championships, and they'll be done in 2 days. And then, from then on, it's club championships. But again, the competition is just as hot, And so I think the rules say that because people say, well, what if the elite teams enter in the club? Well, the rules usually have been that only 2 elite paddlers can be paddling in club teams. So
Okay.
Try to even that out.
Right. Okay. Kind of make it more fair on that stage. Now, I think it's amazing not only that we have countries, of course, being represented here, but when you start getting into club paddling, now you're representing where you're really, really from.
Yes.
Right? Not just your whole country. You're representing your hood, your neighborhood, this aupua or whatever we say, or these valleys where I'm from. And a lot of the clubs in the more urban areas, look, they're all waving at you, John. They all know you're on. You probably know half of these people.
I do indeed. Probably 90% of them, actually.
But you're really getting to represent, the opportunity to represent where it is that you are from. And for instance, somebody like you, where your home club is 4 generations deep of your family, man, the kind of pride that you carry forward representing that, and what does that mean to a paddler, John?
Look, to me as a paddler and to anyone there, my club is a very small club. I come from a remote area called Pawarenga, and literally it's this gravel road to get in. You've got more chance of hitting a cow on the road than a car because there's not many cars. But from that very, very small settlement, I'll call it, it's not a town, there's been so many world champions to come out of there. I kid you not.
Really?
Kid you not. And it's done amazing things for our community, for the rangatahi, for the youth. It's giving them belief that they can succeed, not just locally, not just nationally, but international success can happen for you.
And it gives them so many opportunities to not only perpetuate their culture, but stay busy, right? Because, especially for the youth, idle hands are the devil's plaything, right?
Exactly.
So to have them to be able to evolve in something that is tied to their culture, who they are, it gives them a sense of identity.
Absolutely.
Not only for who they are, but where they're from. Because I bet you can't walk down that gravel road and you know all the cows by name, but the 3 cars that are going to pass you, you know them all too.
Absolutely.
Right? So you're not just representing people you don't know. You grew up in this place, and you're representing, and they know that too.
I couldn't have said it any better. In those gravel roads, they've been run a fair amount of Ks over the last 6 months in preparation for this event. And I can say that honestly because I've seen videos of my family getting the
workout.
Doing their workouts, and so hitting the roads.
Where is this? That maybe American Samoa? Samoa. Talofa.
Yep.
All right.
And again, obviously we see a lot of the Pacific nations, but it's not just the Pacific nations. And and it'll grow. It'll grow more and more. Obviously it's growing a lot.
Even here in Hawaii, right?
Yeah.
Hey, there's a lot of paddlers that aren't part Hawaiian. You know what I mean?
I do.
And it doesn't make them any better or worse of a paddler. They're there. They're doing things. They're perpetuating the sport, the culture, and it's cool. You don't have to be Hawaiian or Polynesian to be able to perpetuate the culture,
Not at all. One of the things that has been successful in Aotearoa, New Zealand, has been the junior programs.
Yes.
Yeah, and people say it's a cliche that young people are our future, but it's a universal truth.
Yes.
It's a universal truth. They are, and so they're the future of va'a, wakaama, whatever you choose to call it.
Right.
They are the future. And so if you don't have your juniors coming through, who's going to take your place as you get older? They get into some ceremonies there. Oh, singing, I see. The welcome.
Is this Tahiti?
Oh, it looks like it is indeed.
This is so cool.
It's
I mean, if you love paddling right now, this is the place to be.
It is the pinnacle. It is the pinnacle. And here in Hawaii, here in Hilo,
Yep.
it's fantastic. Everyone back at work has been very jealous of me. I got to say.
Hey, all right. Welcome, Tahiti. Maruru.
Look at that.
Boy, there's not even enough room for them. They have to get into the water to. You know what? Look at all those folks from Aotearoa with their black jerseys on. They can't believe the water's so warm.
They say they'll be Spot the Kiwi, the one that's swimming in winter. But yes, you can see the green ones. That'll be Australia.
Australia,
yep.
Black, of course, New Zealand. Coming through there in the red, that would be our Tahitians.
Tahitians, yeah. And you know, there's a lot of Kiwis living in Australia. There's a lot of Kiwis paddling for Australia and doing so proudly too. You know, it's a country that's looking after many of us at the moment, and that's where they might be living. It's where I'm living.
Right.
And so, you know, we paddle there, and if we're chosen to represent Australia, we wear the colours proudly.
Oh,
absolutely.
Of course.
But when the All Blacks playing,
oh my gosh. When the All Blacks play, all bets are off.
All bets are off.
You can't be wearing yellow and green when the All Blacks are playing.
No. Not all.
Oh, look at that. So beautiful. They brought their lepo'o. And
they're having a great time. You know, the sun's shining at the moment. You can see that.
I know. It was a little rainy earlier, John. I was kind of worried that we were going to have our opening ceremony dampered by a few sprinkles, but it is Hilo. This is one of the wettest places out here.
So I hear. I hear, yes.
That's why everything grows here. That's why it's so green.
Yep.
OPT.
But even if there was a bit of liquid sunshine, they'd still be enjoying themselves. No doubt. I'm not sure the orange shirts.
So these are, even though they're part of the Tahitian contingent, this is their own home club. Unless this is a separate nation here.
I'm not sure. They might be wearing club shirts.
It says so on their hat. Something like
oh, gee, they're still flowing in. It's amazing.
Yeah, there's quite a few countries, not only in Europe, but in South America as well.
Yes.
Peru, Argentina, Chile, Brazil. You know, it's kind of neat to have. I mean, Brazil has 177 entries.
I know. They're good.
Wow.
They're good.
That's a large amount.
They're good. You know, many people have been asking me through the week, well, who's going to win? Like, who's going to get the most gold medals? Well, this is sport.
Yeah.
There's
You don't know.
There's no certainties in sport. So, you know, I guess everyone, that's what we're coming here to find out.
You know, I think you kind of are winning already to get to this point, especially if you're from somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
You have had to qualify in your country to represent your country. Hey, all right, USA.
Hello, USA.
You've had to qualify as the best from where you're from, right? And now you get out here to compete on the world stage. But even to be able to get this far and to be able to wear your country's jersey on your back, that's winning to me. You made it to the big show.
You're here. You're representing your country, your club, your family as you go back down through that, I guess that going back to basics, but you're here representing, and you are. Now, this is a big show. This is the IVF World Sprint Championships.
Yeah. All right.
There you go, USA. Welcome to Hilo, Hawaii.
This is just like you were saying about being a Maori in Australia. These are like Hawaiians in the mainland U.S. that took their culture up there and are perpetuating it in places like California and all over the West Coast, New York. There's even paddling in Arizona. There's canoe clubs in Arizona, right? So it's kind of cool that they are able to get there and represent their country and their club.
And spread the love.
Yeah.
Spread the love.
I don't know. To me, just making it here. I was lucky enough to be here 20 years ago in 2004 when they had the races then, representing and racing.
Yeah.
Man, it was good fun. It was good fun. But just the exchange, the international exchange of friends, and see what people are doing and meeting new people, talking about where they're from, other than traveling someplace, is as close as you can get.
Yep. Look, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I'm talking from personal experience now. The number of friends that I've met that come from all different parts of the world that I never thought I'd get to, or get to know friends or people from there. And I know that if I ever go there for any reason,
you've got a friend.
I've got a place to stay.
All right.
And it's worked. That's been the case for me already many times.
Wow.
Go somewhere and got a place to stay.
What was it like having the World Sprints in England?
It was interesting. Like I said, it was hot. It was hot. Who would
Really?
have thought? It was hot. Every day was over 35 degrees.
Wow.
Every day. There was a heat wave going through the whole of Europe at the time. And so, over in England, the houses aren't made for hot.
Yeah, they're made for cold, right?
Yeah, exactly. So even the locals were saying, this is not the usual heat. But over there, on Dorney Lake, not far from Windsor Castle, man-made lake specifically for water sports. It was the lake that they used for the Olympics when it was held in London.
Yes.
Yeah. So the Olympic circles were still on the bridge and everything. I got photos of it.
Wow.
But so the race, the race course, A1 race.
Very even, very.
But even, yeah.
But man-made.
Yeah, well, but freshwater.
Yes.
Yeah. So freshwater is another element.
How did you feel that affected the canoes?
Well, they don't float as high. As simple as that. So they sit deeper in the water. Just having that salt in the water makes it more buoyancy and brings them a hull up out of the water. It might only be a fraction, but still enough to actually have an impact on how the characteristics of how the waka performs. But enjoyed it. They did a great event. I never thought I'd get to the UK. It wasn't on my bucket list, but I enjoyed every moment on it, I can tell you.
Very cool. Oh, here are the Hawaiians.
Hawaii.
All right.
Fantastic. Our hosts.
Very. All these Hawaiians are very honored to be able to host it here.
Yeah.
I think it's, our state is a beautiful place, and as such, we're often inundated with tourism and that kind of stuff. All that comes with being someplace beautiful to live. But I think it's a little different when you're coming to celebrate as a tourist or as a visitor our own culture. That we share our own common culture, which I think is amazing. That's one of the things I love most about it, is that it's a culture that we share. This is not only within the countries of Polynesia, right? It's just as much Tahitian's culture as Maori culture, Samoan culture, as it is Hawaiian, right? But now it's spread. We're often the small fish in a big pond, right? Because our nations are small. But, man, we've taken this thing and we're infecting people all over the world with it.
I can't help but agree with you. I absolutely have to agree with everything.
Oh, Shaka Khan.
But you're absolutely right, and it's wonderful to see. It's great to feel embraced by that warmth of arriving here, and even the flight across. And it's just awesome. It's awesome to experience that friendship, that comradeship, that manakitanga we call it, the awhitanga, just to be embraced and guided and comforted and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, well, e komu mai. Welcome, everybody.
Yeah.
Welcome to Hawaii. We hope you enjoy. What an honor to host this plate.
Yeah, they are. So, and it's also a lot about just learning the history of Hawaii as well, and hearing people's stories, and it's amazing to listen to.
Ooh, they have a oli going here. They're chanting their way in. Wow.
So you can see the numbers there. There's a lot of paddlers there. And they're certainly getting they're getting the feel of things there, enjoying.
Mahalo to each and every one of you folks. Oh my goodness, I love to see the personal cultures. Very awesome. Amazing turnout.
Yeah, what a great turnout. He is absolutely right. We have our commentator there on the stage, the big stage, bringing everybody in, getting them to their tent, and they are.
Yep, they're certainly looking good out there on the beach. And so, yep, it's fantastic to see such a great sight. So the numbers of paddlers that are here. Here's the flag flying proudly. Someone's certainly having a great time running along the beach with their flag. Look at them.
Yep. Wow, that is a beach full of paddlers, John.
Yep, absolutely.
It's exciting. So today is kind of like fun, like warm up. I saw earlier when I was cruising up and down the beach a couple of hours ago, John, that they had the paddlers in those staging tents like they did, right, where everybody's getting a chance to go out and I guess practice. So tell us what was going on today.
So today has been what we call course familiarization.
Okay.
So get out there on the water, get a feel for the water, and you might think, what do you mean a feel for the water? Paddlers will know what I mean when you have a feel for the water. Also to get on the race course and practice those turns that we were talking about. And so, we've got a waka that is not the easiest to turn. So they just want to see what it's like on this water, get out there, see what will work for them, and practice it as best they can. So when it comes to race day, they've got a plan in place in their mind of how they believe they can turn this waka 180 degrees and as fast as they can. Yeah.
So what about the rigging now, John? Are they all rigged exactly the same, or can each crew alter that a little bit?
No alterations whatsoever. They were rigged earlier in the week, and they stay that way, and they all rigged to exactly the same. So everyone has an identical waka, or as identical as possibly can be.
Although it might not be the best setup necessarily for that crew, because for instance, like an adult men's crew is going to be maybe up in the area of 200 pounds a person, right? As opposed to like a keiki or a kid's crew, they're going to be a lot lighter per man. So it's good. The way that the ama is rigged is going to make a big difference.
Yeah. So very true. The idea about having identical, though, is that they'll get a different waka. Okay. And they will do a different waka each race. Because they draw a lane.
Yeah. It would be difficult to do. But, okay. Yeah. Well, there's the answer. They're keeping all even. But right now we're going to kind of go to the blessing, the traditional Hawaiian blessing that's happening here. If we can bring that in, bring that audio in. Right now our chanter is oling to the different directions, compass headings, oling to the mauna, oling to the kai. Yeah, they're going to be doing what we call kahiko hula, a more traditional. We have two different basic types, a more modern type that you're going to see with, them playing instruments, guitar, ukulele, that kind of stuff. But this will be a more traditional style that was the original. Okay. Yep. We're kind of listening into what their oli is. Again, for those of you that are watching here live on our Facebook feeds, whether that's with Ocean Paddler, or International Yacht Federation, or Hawaiian Canoeing Association, this is our opening ceremony for 2024 IVF World Springs here at the beach at Hilo Bay. Right now we're having a traditional hula blessing, a kahiko hula, offered by these dancers that are helping to ensure a good, safe, and properly blessed week here for all of our paddlers from all over the world. All right, folks, you're seeing our drone shot again there of opening ceremonies here at the 2024 IVF World Sprints from Hilo Bay, Hawaii. All the different paddlers from the representing countries wearing their jerseys to signify which nation they are representing. Loud and proud there all throughout the grounds. We've just had all of them march down here onto the beach. And I'm sitting here with John Herbert. He's originally from New Zealand, and we are enjoying quite a show here, John.
Absolutely. It's great to see all those different colours out there, but also underneath the tents, there's more people underneath those tents too. So you're not seeing the full picture of the number of people that are there. You can see some people cooling off in the ocean there. But enjoying the opening ceremony, and as only Hawaii can do, and very, very much showing of Hawaiian culture, and that's awesome to see too. And so as they continue on, it's just great to see, and you can see in the background, you can see the para-paddlers there.
All right, yeah, there they are, our para-paddlers.
Some of the para-paddlers, a big contingent there from, again, Aotearoa that I can see, and so that's another part of this event is the para-racing.
So you mentioned that. What day offhand do you know that's happening, kind of later in the week?
Sprinkled throughout.
Sprinkled throughout. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Throughout the event.
Bunch of our paddlers just spectating, enjoying the festivities, but in the next several days, they will be the ones that people are watching. How many different races are there throughout the whole? Do you know offhand? I don't know, because it's got to be
that statistic.
A couple hundred races.
Yeah. Oh, more than that. It'll be more than 200 races. I'm sure.
Wow.
Because I think we paddle on till starting Friday and going through to 7 days at least. I think they've got a lay day just in case we have to stop racing.
Bad weather or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's beautiful watching the culture here being practiced. Fantastic to see.
I love going around the Pacific and hearing the different, to me, it's not even different languages. It's like the different versions of the same language. It really is. And it's, we're kind of way up here in the north.
And we're way down in the south.
Yeah, way down in the south. It's quite a distance from each other. And if you were to look at Polynesia as one nation, it covers that nation covers the most square miles or hectares or acres, whatever you want to say, of any peoples on this planet. And it's kind of cool to see how far it was spread, and each culture has developed their own version of the same thing, but how much through our traditions, our stories, our language, we are tied together.
Yeah, very, very true. And we are, we do have varied words, but we have so many familiar words too, and they might be pronounced a little bit differently, but we can see the connection.
Like some of the most basic one. Hawaii is aloha.
Aroha.
Aroha, or kia ora if you're from New Zealand. You go to Samoa, it's talofa.
Yes.
No matter where you go, it's a version of the same thing.
Like Cook Islands, kia orana.
Yeah. And so, we would say here in Hawaii, we would say he'e is the squid. the octopus. But you go to Tonga and it's feke. It's it's all so similar. It's like a little tweak on the same thing.
So it shows us we know we're related. We know. We have
and through the generations prior, while colonization took over much of Polynesia and a lot of nations, in particular the Hawaiians, we lost a lot of our people, we lost a lot of our culture. What you're seeing here now with the hula is part of a resurgence that really, we held on to certain things luckily and had a resurgence of our culture. But it's neat to see that as a sport, that part of our culture that it has really been seeing a resurgence is the kanukala, is the vaka'ama, is the va'a, and it's a thing that has kind of all the same with us. Like we talked about, the canoes are all a little different. Just like the language is a little different, but it's a small version of the same thing.
And again, from what we were talking about earlier,
It's okay if I hear it a little bit. Maybe I can hear.
Still I got.
All right. Well, welcome back to the beach here. You got a nice live drone shot. Yeah. Yeah, we were. Well, mahalo to our halau and our dancers for helping us open the ceremonies here. Aloha to all of our para paddlers there. Look at that. Look at them lined up. Aloha nui. That's Kalani Kalua. Yeah, so we're going to be going into the protocol here, but like we were able to talk about earlier, John, just for it is.
Aloha nui loa o ko na hoi waa o oa'o o ka honua nei. Mananani o nā hilo I ka uakani lehua. I ke pū ia na ki'i makanui me nā luna ho'oholo mo o keia hei hei. I mea ho'o mana'o he kuleana ke kama'aina o nā hilo ma ka malama ana I nā pono. A pau o ka aina e o mau ai. I ku a mau nei o lelo no e au. He va'a, he moku. He moku, he va'a. Me ia mau mana'o, e pala kana, e lau ka le'a e ike aku ike mai e he hoa kanaka I loko o ka aloha o nā hilo. He hei hei, ke o loa'a, e ka maikai nui vale ma na ano a pau. E ola nui kako. Aloha, a very warm welcome to this year's 2024 World Sprints Competition. Let me hear you, family and friends. Hilo welcomes you all for the paddlers from across the world. We also would like to acknowledge our dignitaries and officials. As a reminder, we would want you to understand our duty, culturally, is to take care of our land, and our land will take care of you. I'll leave you with all of this olelo no eao. He va'a he moku, he moku, he va'a. With that being said, keep safe, have fun, enjoy the camaraderie amongst each other, and Hilo wishes you all well during this competition of paddling. Welcome.
All right, yeah, that was a good one.
Once again, mahalo nui, Chris, for that beautiful introduction for us here at the 2024 IVF World Championships, where the elite of the elite comes here to battle out to be crowned as the world champions. At this time, folks, we'd like to continue with our opening ceremony by welcoming a few words by our County Mayor, Mitch Roth.
Aloha!
Yep.
Oh boy, I gotta tell
Mayor
you.
Mitch Roth.
If you could see what I'm seeing looking from this stage out here, Hawaii we say chicken skin. You know it as goosebumps.
Goosebumps.
It's just amazing to see you out here. You know, on behalf of the people of the County of Hawaii, I'd like to welcome you to our island. You know, for those of you who have come far away, please enjoy what we have here to offer. Our ocean, our land, our people. You know, we are so honored, our culture, to have you here. I have to think a lot of people, well, there's a lot of people that really deserve getting thanks. I know this IVF is here in the house. How about a big hand for the IVF? Some of these people, yeah. HCRA. Woo! You know, we had a couple of teams that helped get all the flags out there. I know Kiai Warfeld and his team and Dougie Bumatai. How about a big hand for those guys? Their team. They did so much work. And I can't forget to thank the people of our Parks and Recreation who, when they came to us, about a year and a half ago and said, can we do this? We said, absolutely. How are we going to do it? And they helped bring these guys together to make it happen. So what I'd like to do at this time is I'd like to recognize and bring up on stage the director of our Parks and Recreation, Maurice Messina. By the way, the next 10 days you're out here, please enjoy yourself. Have an amazing time on purpose. Aloha.
Thank you, Mayor. This is great for us. This is great for the County of Hawaii, and we feel that this is great for the sport of paddling. We've worked tirelessly for the last couple of years to not only give you folks this wonderful venue, but to make it ADA compliant for those with disabilities. And our maintenance staff has been working day and night to make sure that you have this beautiful venue. We have on our island, through our park system, we have the lush green forest and all the way to the black sand beaches. So on behalf of the County of Hawaii Parks Department, Mayor Roth, and our entire team here, we wish you all the best of luck. And we hope over these next week and a half that you all create memories that will last a lifetime. Thank you all. We really appreciate everyone. Aloha.
Once again, folks, give a big round of applause for our County Mayor of Hawaii, Ms. Roth, and Director of Parks, Maurice. Coming up next, folks, we'd like to welcome on board and bring up our chairperson from PAR Hawaii, which is our title sponsor, Nick Dom.
I welcome everybody. I'm going to ask you something a little bit odd. I would like you to all to look to your left and right and connect hands with who's next to you. Now I would like for all of you to close your eyes and raise your arms up. Now you got to hold them up so that we have one chance paddling against all of you for the next half an hour. Now, jokes aside, I asked you to do this because I am here and in awe of the many individuals that are coming here, where that connection from your brain that tells you to grab somebody's hand, raise your arm, raise a leg, toot, whatever you got to do, is not all there. And people have learned steps like eating, crying, crawling, walking, paddling in very different stages. And for 98% of everybody here, all of those things worked out fine and everything of the learning works well. And there is a percentage that has to work much harder to accomplish the things we do every day. So I have been in awe with all of the paddlers that I've been able to work with on the para side. And I want to invite everyone to our exhibition race that's happening tomorrow. We're super, super, super proud to have the chance to display intellectually disabled individuals this year for the first time internationally. We have 8 crews that are going to be paddling. And I have been honored to see the joy in the group of people that I've been working with. And I just want to invite you to be here tomorrow at noon and see that, feel that, and see how they go through that. So we're on at 11:55, the exhibition race. Anyone that can join and support, we would love to have you. Mahalo, have a great race. Aloha.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Nicholas Dom, part of our chairperson for our PAR Hawaii title team. At this time, folks, we'd like to bring up the president of the IVF, and is the reason why we're all here today.
Laura.
At this time, Laura Collins.
Mahalo. Aloha kako.
Oh, pretty good, Laura.
On behalf of the International VAR Federation, I'd like to extend a warm welcome and to almost 2,900 paddlers from 27 countries taking part.
Wow.
This is the 20th IVF World Sprint Championship, and it is the biggest one we've ever had. This week, the best of the best will paddle out on the water. The competition will be fierce, but the atmosphere on the land will be exciting and electric, and I can't wait to see everybody enjoying themselves. Thank you to the Hawaiian Canoe Racing Association for all the hard work you've done to organize this race here at Hilo Bay. One that was originally scheduled to be held in 2020, but was postponed due to the COVID pandemic. We've come a long way since then. This event was the vision of Uncle Bo Campos, HCRA board member and IVF board member. Unfortunately, we lost Uncle Bo in 2018. His love for the sport of outrigger canoe paddling and the perpetuation of its culture was infectious, and we will be thinking of him throughout this entire week. Uncle Bo was extremely passionate about providing opportunities for youth. And he would have been delighted to know that this year we have more junior paddlers participating at this World Championship than ever before. We have 16 junior elite teams from 9 countries. We have 89 junior club teams, a total of 679 junior paddlers taking part. It's extremely positive for the future growth of our sport, and they are what is going to make this sport exciting when we're all not here. Thank you to Mayor Roth and the County of Hawaii, sponsors, partners, officials, volunteers, the vendors, the entire community of Hilo. This event would not be possible without all of you. Va'a is more than a sport. It is a way of life. It is a culture that is deeply rooted in the Pacific traditions. Being here in Hilo, Hawaii, is a special opportunity for us to share in that culture, spend time with our paddling ohana from all corners of the world, meet new friends, and enjoy the event on and off the water. Kia kaha and good luck.
Once again, mahalo nui, Laura Collins, for that great and awesome speech. At this time, folks, we'd like to adorn you with our Hawaiian Serenaders on behalf of our other sponsors of Hawaiian Airlines, as we will perform for you for the upcoming opening ceremony. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, our Hawaiian Serenaders as they take the stage and set up for the next 30 seconds. 29, 28.
So these are the Hawaiian Serenaders provided by Hawaiian Airlines. They're one of our sponsors. And it was important, like Laura had mentioned, that there is a...
At this time, we'd like to bring on our Hawaiian Airlines
a
Serenaders
list of organizations
from the island
and especially
of
businesses
Oahu.
that made this possible. So, for whatever reason, Hawaiian Airlines is one of the few large businesses here in the islands that really puts their money behind things like paddling. And so this is part of their promotions team, the singers. And so this is...
That's great to see. Great to see.
Help represent Hawaiian culture wherever they do go. John, they're basically playing a medley here of modern Hawaiian songs about the island of Hawaii. That last song that you had, every verse was dedicated to a different section of the island as you come down the coast. Hawaii, all these different
key
districts. They're kind of naming them out and saying something special about where that is from. This is yet another song about the island, the big island of Hawaii.
But in our culture, that's important. Landmarks, certain landmarks are so important.
Boy, John, the music's good, the va look good, and again, you can see on the canoes there, on all the different sponsors that have made this possible. Are, Ozone Canoes, of course, Hawaiian Airlines, whose gang is playing right now for us, Par Hawaii, Hele, a number of these different sponsors. Let's see, First Hawaiian Bank, Matson, HPM Building Supply, Kauai Outrigger Association. A lot of these businesses have really stepped up, and a big mahalo out to Mayor Roth and his gang and the county of Hawaii Island.
Yeah, these events don't happen by themselves.
No, for sure.
They take a lot of support from
Doesn't that look good, though? Look at that, John. That's a great screenshot.
That's a great shot.
Yeah. Hawaii Tourism Authority, of course.
Welcome to the big island of Hawaii, the capital town of Hilo. We are the Hawaiian Airlines Serenaders. Hui, up here. No matter where Hawaiian flies, and when these kinds of...
So for those folks that may be tuning in internationally, looking to see their friends and family, just to give you a real quick idea, the state of Hawaii is divided into basically 4 counties. There's Honolulu City and County, which is the island of Oahu. That's where most everybody is, right? Kauai is their own county as well. Maui County is Maui, Molokai, and Lanai, of course. And then the Big Island is their own county. And a lot of people don't know that this is truly the Big Island. Mokuokeave, they used to call it, was the original name. But it is so large that all the other islands can fit on this island, and you still have plenty of room left over. And so Hilo Town here is the capital of the county of Hawaii, Hawaii Island. And so this is kind of how that lays out. We have the Hawaiian Canoe Racing Association, but every county has their own, Mokuokeave Racing Association. You have Oahu Hawaiian Canoe Racing Association, Kauai, all of them. We each have their own association. And so the parent organization over all of that is the HCRA, Hawaiian Canoe Racing Association.
Okay, and we can see the home of this event.
Yeah, there you go.
There it is. That's the water. That's the spectator bank. That's the tower, the city of Hilo.
Yep. City of Hilo. All you can see is coconut trees. What a beautiful afternoon. And, I'm so glad that the rain did abate. Hilo and this area is really kind of one of the agricultural centers for the state. And it's so much wetter. When a lot of people think of the island of Hawaii, they think of basically the two opposing sides, right? One is Kona on the west side.
Yes.
It's a lot of lava, right? Very warm, beautiful deep ocean that drops off right there. Kona is lovely. Surfing, all that kind of stuff. Some of the best deep sea fishing in the world right there on the Kona coastline. Hilo is the wetter, greener side. Kind of known for these lush valleys and forests, and kind of, like I said, not only the forested areas, but a lot of our agriculture from here in the state is based right here in Hilo. And so it's kind of the two sides of it, Kona definitely grew up as more of a tourist town because it's so sunny. And Hilo is more of a traditional population center in the ways of there was a lot of agriculture and business and like sugar plantations and stuff like that. You couldn't do that on that side. And in the middle between are all the mountains that we hear of from other places. Mauna Kea, Mauna Loa, Hualalai, and up in that area, especially like Waimea, is where we had all of our cattle ranches. I think still the largest privately held cattle ranch in the nation is still Parker Ranch here on this island.
Yep.
So it's called the Big Island for a good reason. Not quite as big as the Big Island that you're from. Those islands are big too, pal.
New Zealand, North Island, South Island, definitely. But I'm living in Australia now.
Right,
that's another big island.
Right, for sure.
But certainly, from what you're saying, I've been here since Sunday. And, we've had a fair bit of rain, especially in the evenings and the mornings, but then it seems to clear and then it comes and goes.
That's what keeps it green. And it's never really like cold rain. And a lot of this kind of like misty rain, they call it kilihune, the kind of misty rain that you have that just keeps things that keeps the roots wet, that kind of rain. And you said you were able to get up to Mauna Kea.
I did on my second day here.
Cool.
I went up there again. It was just beautiful place to be. Again, another iconic part of the island.
Oh yeah, and while we're hearing the serenaders, we're actually able to witness a turn here. And they were outside of the buoy, right? Would that be a DQ?
Yeah, most definitely. Again, I call the races, and I anything I say about the race is unofficial. So
if anybody on the beach hears John this weekend, it's all unofficial.
Yeah, it's all unofficial.
But the hype is real.
But the hype is real. It is. But, if I call someone that's come home first, I always qualify it. It's unofficial. And because we've got a camera here that does 250 frames a second.
Wow.
And so that is how fine lines can be. And even though it does do 250 frames per second, the finish line camera that we're using, I have seen only 2 dead heats in the years that we've been using it. So it's a very 250th of a second.
Wow. Wow, look at these young Hawaiian boys out there practicing. They're all hyped up. I'm sure they're excited to be in a brand new, beautiful Are Matahina canoe. But they're kind of getting a little practice out there. As is our drone operator, kind of circling around them, getting practice. So here they are, getting a nice little start. Kind of fun.
Away they go.
Hey, man, this is as good as it gets, right? Nice afternoon, Hawaiian music, some young athletes out there in the va'a, and us getting to watch it via the the drone cam. This is cool, brother. This is cool.
It is indeed. I'm sort of thinking if anyone from my work is watching, I apologize, guys. It's terrible here.
Oh, hilarious. Yeah.
I'm suffering.
He's definitely suffering here, folks. And you know what's cool to me, and you know, all of Polynesia is kind of real multi-ethnic nowadays. But, John, I couldn't tell you if those were boys from right here in Hilo or whether they were from Tahiti or they were from New Zealand or wherever. I couldn't tell you. Isn't that great?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And so, you know, obviously the only way we can tell where people are from here is the shirts they wear.
The jersey, right?
And so they got no shirts.
Yeah.
So they could be, like you said, from anywhere. But look at them go.
Nice stroke.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all. I don't know if they're an established team or whether they've just gone out there and gotten together for this little paddle that they're doing here. You know, each seat, though, has a role. Every seat has a very specific role. And so, you know, if you look in the back there, number 6, always the captain. Always, I always say they're the coach on the water, they're the captain on the water, they're the counselor on the water, they're the tactician on the water.
Yeah, the counselor. Hey, forget about what your girlfriend told you, bro. Just paddle. Get it out right now.
Yep.
Leave it in the canoe.
So they just finished here, the Hawaiian Airlines trio, or what?
The trio, yeah. Hawaiian Serenaders.
Serenaders.
We're going to get some dancing here.
But the rain has stayed away. You know, there's cloud around us, but it's bypassing us.
You know, I was listening to you talk about how maybe stifling hot it was in England when you were there. And, man, but look at this. You could feel a nice trade wind coming in. It's a little overcast, right? So you're still going to get a sunburn, but you're not baking out there, you know? So this is really good paddling weather.
This is pleasant. This is fantastic, you know. And again, for all those guys at work, I'm not enjoying it, but no, it is actually fantastic. And so, yes, you can feel it on our backs. The breeze is coming in.
Yeah, for everybody watching, you can see that flag. It's blowing onshore right now, just a little bit of an onshore breeze. Mm-hmm. Off to the left of our musicians would be the ocean. All right, here we go. This is the more modern style of hula, the awana. And as you can tell, a big difference from what we were watching earlier, which was the more traditional style, you know, more proper for an opening or a blessing. And this is some great entertainment for our folks from all across the world who have come to see. All right, let's listen in on this beautiful music and watch this hula.
For Kailua Kona and our ali'i, mahalo. We are going to slow the tempo down just a tad as we feature our 2 lovely hula maidens, starting off with Alohilani. And they do for you a medley of hapahaole tunes. These are island musical compositions that are written and sung with English words. Another big chunk of Hawaiian music, or island music, I should say. And many of these songs we sing date back to the late 1880s and 1890s when some of these songs were composed. This one wrote back in the 1960s by one of the first members of the Hawaiian Airlines. But back then we were called the Hawaiian Airlines promotional team. Nowadays, you know, different bosses, you get called different things. At least it's not X-rated. But different bosses, we are now the Hawaiian Airlines Serenaders and Dancers. And Uncle Andy Cummings, who wrote this song back in the 1960s, wrote this song about an area on the island that we come from, the island of Oahu, a beautiful place called Waikiki.
Here you go, John. Small piece of trivia. Uncle Andy was
deep in my heart.
Uncle Andy's dancer was my mom.
Just like dawn.
Wow.
It's a feeling heavenly.
Close connection.
I see memories out of the past, memories that always will last, of a place beside the sea. Waikiki, at night when the shadows are falling, I hear your rolling surf calling, calling and calling to me. Waikiki, 'tis for you that my heart is yearning. My thoughts are always returning out there to you across the sea. Your tropic nights, your wonderful charm are ever in my memory. And I recall when I held in my arms an angel sweet, so heavenly. Waikiki, my whole life is empty without you. I miss that magic about you, magic beside the sea. Your tropic nights, your wonderful charm are ever in my memory. And I recall when I held in my arms an angel sweet, so heavenly. My whole life is empty without.
That's what's streaming.
I miss that magic about you, magic beside the sea, magic of Waikiki.
Waikiki.
The magic of Waikiki.
You know, John, while we were watching the hula, I was able to log on to Facebook where you can find this live broadcast. And it was kind of cool that we're having all kinds of people from across the globe. They call in, they message in, they give questions, they give shout outs. We have Renee Wickens from New Zealand. We have Tukahi
Nataki.
Yeah, from
Nataki,
Aotearoa.
yeah.
Aaron Olds from Dallas, Texas. All over.
Amazing.
We got Quilana Va'au Rigger Canoe Club from Western Australia. Kind of cool all over. Everybody's kind of using this as a little forum to kind of see what's going on, even if they're not here, and kind of send shout outs to their friends and family that are here.
Yeah, and look, we all love your your productions as you go through, and of course people follow it from all over. I do from Australia myself.
Yeah. Go on. Yeah, we have our QR code right there on the screen that you'll be able to kind of pass on to your friends or to your watch when you watch this live or check out any past events or Facebook. And so what's kind of cool is that people can have, whether they're going to be at home this weekend or this coming week, they'll be in the office or whatever, they can be streaming what's going on and catch the races as it's happening in between whatever else they're doing.
And I promise you, a lot of people do that. They're typing on there, but they're actually watching the...
Yeah. You know what was interesting to me was seeing how, last year at States when we did here, was seeing how many folks were here inside of the tents and hanging out in the parking lot, walking around, and they had their phones and everything cued into what was going on. And so we were kind of giving them really their play-by-play of the day, and it was kind of cool. While they were able to be part of the bigger stuff that was going on, we were kind of like their eyes and ears. It was kind of neat.
We try to honor the Aina that we always visit. And one last song that speaks of Hilo Town. Hilo E.
You know what's is cool, and when we've done live broadcasts in the past, John, is for instance when we did Molokai Hoi, we were able to have people have it on their screen at home because it was shown on a local network station here in the islands. Now, as people can see on their on the screen here, that we have Adventure Zone Sports Network. So whether you have, Fire TV from Amazon, you have Roku, or you have Apple TV, as all the QR codes are provided here, you can log on to Adventure Zone Sports Network and have it not just on your phone as you're walking around, but let's say you're at home, you could put it on the screen, and have, live events from all the way here in Hawaii be playing on the big screen in your home while you're cleaning the house, doing yard, whatever you're doing at home. It can kind of be in the backdrop, and then you can kind of tune in when there's a race, and then tune out when it's dead time if you need to. Yep. And not to mention, you can watch all of our past Ocean Paddler episodes. You can see the different type of outdoor production stuff that the production company that is a parent for Ocean Paddler has done over the years. Stuff from, surfing to any kind of adventure sports. So it's kind of neat.
It is. It is, and I can talk from a personal experience of having, doing exactly that, because it is the information that many paddlers that can't have access to it. So get access, and of course, even with this event, people are saying, "Oh well, you're going to be broadcasting it," so. Everyone's asking who's going to do the live streaming, and so
it's kind of neat. Like your function here, to me, is so awesome. You're giving the play-by-play, you're doing the commentary on the races as they happen here live on the beach, and that's intrinsic to, I guess, sprint-style racing.
It is
right now. If we're out in the ocean and we're paddling island to island, it's kind of a hard thing for there to be that type of commentary.
That's right.
And so, really. At what point is paddling able to be a spectator sport?
Well, you make it a spectator sport. That's what happens.
Well, it's not me. It's definitely our whole production team
the whole
that we're part of.
And that's what I mean. There's still commentary and vital commentary that can happen in a long-distance race. And you following along. Yes, people get spread out along vast distances of the ocean. But we still want to know where people are at,
right?
And
it's
who is that?
And that whole adventure of bringing that to folks has been so fun. And again, here we are watching some of the teams warm up for the next couple of days of racing. They'll probably be practicing their turns, but it has been fun, and I'm so excited to see the dynamics that the IVF is bringing to the sport, and especially I want to see. I've heard good stuff about you, John, and how you get everybody so excited to watch their friends and other nations race here, up and down the beach.
And the truth is, I get excited. I can't help it. I'll watch a race, and if it's close, I'm excited. So it comes through my voice.
Yes.
And it comes through my body. Yes. But luckily, I'm not on TV at that time because I'm jumping all over the place.
Well, we're starting to change that, John. There you are in the lower half of the screen.
Hello, everyone.
Right there. So, It has been fun, though. And, I think, maybe in some small way we've been, guys like me, guys like our production team, guys like you, of really helping to grow this sport. And that has always been a big part of our mission, is to not only bring people the sport and get something for you to see, but thereby be able to increase and expose this sport that we really love to other people. And I mean, it's a true testament. The sport has really taken. We were just talking earlier about in New Zealand how the sport has taken off.
The growth in New Zealand has been phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And along with that growth comes, I guess, for want of a better word, the quality of paddlers. The skill set, the progression.
Yep.
And
we're watching Tahiti here, speaking of one of our other nations, but we'll really quickly tune into what these beautiful ladies are saying and how they're representing their country.
And all the stuff, and people from Hawaii also, because this is great. We have the blessing. And we would like to share with you a prayer, a song that comes from out there. And it's called Atuhei. This is Tongaroa song, which means the whale from Tahiti. And she's going to sing the song, but I would like to translate it first. So, this is it. On the peaceful waters that separate the space of the twins Aotearoa and Aotea, which is Rarotoa and Raromatai. Raromatai is Raiatea. Stretches a huge playground under this celestial dome inhabited by the constellation. An ancient and mystical word is revealed. It is here in this vast expanse that the whale named Tangaroa draws its strength and inspiration. She relies on the ancients, those who came before her, and their wisdom guides her across the oceans. Tangaroa thus travels the crossing route of the waters, seeking to reach his island of birth. This island, this sanctuary, represents the very essence of the distant world, a place where origins and spirit meet. This journey to Tangaroa is not only that a whale, but that of every being who, in search of his roots, crosses the immensity to find the essence of his existence. Thank you. Take place.
Wow, beautiful.
For Leila.
Yeah, Tangaroa, Kanaloa here, and it's the same of our same gods that we all share together. You know?
Together with me. Evai. Evai. Vai he. Vai how. Together again, please. Evai. Vai he. Vai how. It means Evai. The ocean. We are around the ocean, around the world. Evai he, you are brothers and sisters for the ocean too. Vai ho, stay cool, stay peace together. Together, Evai, vai he, vai ho. One more. Evai, vai he. Peace. Evai, vai he, vai how. Only you now. One more. Vai he, vai how. One more.
Just one more.
Once again, Marururo Yaoto te hoa from Tahiti. Once again, folks, we'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining us out here on this beautiful, beautiful day here in Hilo, Hawaii. At this time, this will conclude our opening ceremony for today. Once again, we hope to see you folks bright and bushy tails tomorrow afternoon at noon to support our new exhibition event with our 8 crews part of our IVF team.
Oh, I love seeing the Tahitians get up. They're always so ready to share their culture and express their culture. Every time I go there, they're so still rooted in their traditions, you know. And you know, Hawaiians, a lot of times, a lot of instances, we've lost some things. We're trying to get them back now,
embracing them back. Yeah.
But it all starts really with the language, of course, which they still have. We're doing ours in Aotearoa. It's amazing how much, and the practice of culture. And really, that's what we're here about is the practicing of our culture through the racing, through our and the sharing of it. I think it's so amazing the size of the contingent of paddlers that it's not a traditional thing from where they're from. It's something that they grew up with. You know what I mean? I think it's so cool. Yeah,
part of them, absolutely.
I love it. I think it's so cool.
And I did enjoy that opening ceremony. It was really cool to see just so many people there, but enjoying their culture and sharing. So much sharing is happening.
And so we're getting ready. We're on the precipice of another 7 days possibly of racing. As you had mentioned earlier, John, the next 2 days is going to be the elite stuff, and I'm really excited to watch at the high level stuff.
It is. And so the elites are the best of the best, you know, of each nation. Each country are putting forward their best paddlers as a crew. They've trained together as a crew. They've tried to blend together as a crew. And so this is the elite. That's why they call it, I guess, the elite. And so it is.
And so I'm also really excited to see the club stuff. That's going to be the remainder of the time. People from all over the world representing their neck of the woods, their neighborhood. It's not necessarily only your island or your nation. It's maybe that slice of that place that you're from. And I think there's something special about that. In particular, when it's the Polynesians, as we had said earlier, it's Polynesian people doing Polynesian things and representing their Polynesian homeland. And I love that. And I love how the sport itself has been infectious to all these other nations.
I know. I like how you put that. That's exactly what it is. And so you can come from the smallest little place in whatever country you're from and succeed here, and you, that's an honour, and you take it with you.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's special. And so that's going to be happening in the next several days. We also have the para paddlers. We're looking forward to see what they can do. That's going to be kind of neat. Then we have a special race tomorrow sponsored by PAR that's going to be for the ones that are
living with the intellectual disabilities.
And so it's great. You know, but before we get into all that, it really is exciting about how many folks behind the scenes have worked for how long to make this possible. I mean, really, to see all the folks here from HCRA representing all over Hawaii, and everybody's come out in force to really kind of give a good showing to the rest of the world and represent Hawaii well. But all the folks over at IVF.
Yeah, look, we were just saying before, this sort of event doesn't happen by itself. There's so many people that are giving of their time, their skill set, their talents to make it happen out here, eventually on the water. You know, that's what we're aiming for. And so, you know, there's lots of volunteers here. And so definitely, you know, volunteers are exactly that. They're doing it. Why are they doing it? Because they love the sport.
For the love. For the love. And so I'm really I'm proud of what's going to be happening and whatever we've shown the world on behalf of the Hawaiian people and the Hawaiian paddlers. And like a preemptive mahalo to everyone from all over the IVF and the state here in Hawaii. Mahalo, thank you so much for all that you've already done, what you will do coming up the next several days. And thanks to all the people that have represented, especially paddlers in Hawaii here. And when you think about that, here in Mokokiawe, the Big Island, the IVF being here for the World Sprints, there is one individual who really stands out, and that's Uncle Bo Campos. And we've already heard his name mentioned several times, as you will throughout this week. Uncle Bo, his home club was Kaupua. He was huge about supporting and driving keiki paddling.
Yes.
You know, and this having the World Sprints here in Hilo again after it's been 20 years now. We got canceled during the pandemic. A lot of people don't know, but this was really his dream, and unfortunately, he passed away in 2018 and wasn't able to see it not only get postponed but to be reborn and actually get here in 2024. And so, none of us would be here today if it really wasn't for the efforts of Uncle Bo Campos, who at one time was the commissioner of the Hawaiian Canoe Racing Association. And so we're going to have a quick 5-minute vignette that we have edited and based around who Bo was and what he's done to get here. And we're going to end today's broadcast with this. We'll be sharing it with you again throughout the next coming week. But I want to thank you again, John, for coming up here this afternoon and hanging out with me. It's been so fun. It's great to get to meet you and hear your perspectives. But really, an exciting afternoon. I'm really looking forward to another week. And so we'll see this little video. We'll come back in here and we'll send it out. We'll send a shout out to everybody before we close off officially. So please, all you folks out there, please enjoy this video we've put together about Uncle Bo Campos.
From generations to generations. The blend of having you paddle as one, and the greatest statement I can give you on that is where it's 6 bodies and 1 mind, and they all flow together, and it's beautiful. The wind in your face, the splash of water, it's heaven. This is the first time you've just been inducted to the family, the Ohana, and that's what it does. It gives a camaraderie, a home, a base of being together, and just everything's happy. I know many people have paddled when they were young. I started at 7. I'm still paddling, and I'm getting close to 70. But it's just a passion that you have. It gets in your blood. It's knowing that you're doing something that your ancestors have done. And it's just the best to be on the water. It's a healthy lifestyle. There's so much for everything. That's why people paddling is, to me, number 1 in the state. And you have your home, and it goes all the way through so that they know that there's a lot of aloha for the kids and for the kupunas and for anyone who paddles. It becomes a family unit. And that's the way I love it. So not only is it a festival, it's a gathering of people that come here to paddle and to get that culture going, and then it's just amazing. Now it's spread all over the world with all the people we have coming in from the mainland and international, and it's a great sight. Everybody here is walking around with a smile, and it's just full of aloha. And that's what makes it unique for them. They love it because it's more than just a canoe race. That this is where they really learn what Ohana and what family is all about. Because once they leave here, they're all part of the family of Kaioupua. You know, there's two reasons that I like the kids and the kupunas, because we get the kids coming in. We want to make sure that we perpetuate the sport of having the keiki is our future in this sport, and it's a safe sport, and of course I coach keiki, so that's my favorite thing of all, but they're a part of the paddling culture also. They really are. And we'll try to keep it alive. And that's my goal in life, but knowing that in 20 years they'll be racing in the senior men race.
Hey, Kalamai, folks, very sorry about that. We've obviously, our editors have spent a lot of time getting that video together, but we're having some, seems like technical audio issues right now. We're going to get this ironed out over the evening, and again, we'll be sharing this video about Uncle Bo throughout this coming week. So to all the paddlers and folks worldwide watching us this afternoon, sorry about that, Ikalamai, but we're gonna get that back, because I think it's definitely worth seeing about a man whose dream it was for all of us to be here today, and so we're looking forward to bringing that to you folks a little later on. But we're going to close off our broadcast today. I'm looking forward to this guy. I'm looking forward to this guy tomorrow, hyping up all the races and getting me excited up here in the booth. And we'll get you back on, John. I really appreciate you. It was good spending the afternoon with you, sir.
It has been indeed. My pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. So on behalf of all of us here at Ocean Paddler, and of course, the Hawaiian Canoe Racing Association, the International VA Federation, we want to thank you for joining us for this opening ceremony for the 2024 World Sprints from right here in Hilo Bay. Look for us on your Facebook channel, whether that's Ocean Paddler, IVF, HCRA, and we'll be bringing you live coverage for the next week. I don't know how we're going to pull it off. I love to talk paddling, but man, that's a lot of days of paddling. But I think it's going to be fun, and really it's going to be about not only the racing and the paddling, but the dynamics between people who are going to bring in studio, guys like John here. And so it's going to be fun. We're going to keep it fun, and that's the goal. And that's the way we're going to get through. But thank you again for joining us. We'll see you this week, starting tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday for our elite races here in Hilo Bay, Hawaii for the 2024 IVF World Sprints. Ahui ho.
Good night. Ka kite anō.
All right.